Hello everyone, Krydax here. Welcome to our Factorio 1.1 space exploration playthrough, complete with many quality of life mods. 1.1 is still experimental, but I haven't found any game-breaking bugs, just the normal kind that bite you and attack you. I've already got the map set up the way I like it, but let me walk you through just some of the changes I've made. There is a default for space exploration, which I started with, and then I increased the size and richness a little bit on the mineral patches because I'd rather not have to worry about running out and dealing with complicated train lines. I made water and trees a little bit less coverage just so that I have more room to build. I don't love cutting through massive forests. And I took cliffs off because, well, they weren't in the game for a long time and I've never really loved playing with them. I have changed the size of enemy bases to be larger, but make them much less frequent. I prefer kind of fighting a smaller number but larger armies of biters. And then the time factor for evolution, it was already down at 10, which is very low, but I just changed it down to 0 so that we don't have to worry about being on a time crunch. And all the expansion settings I left the same, and then I turned on research queue and left the pollution settings the same. So this map seems pretty decent. We've got all the resources we need somewhat nearby. We've got oil in 2 directions, and there will be some biters that are attacking from the east and the west sooner or later. So let's go ahead and jump into the game. All right, so we've got a little cutscene here. Crashed spaceship, which I think it's either AAI Industries or Space Exploration Mod itself add some wreckage as well as the normal spaceship. So there's lots of wreckage to mine here. Informatron pops up, says hi. It's like Clippy from Microsoft Word. Jetpacks, meteor defense, all sorts of things that we can look into later. I'm really excited to play space exploration with you guys. I've played it a little bit before. When it came out, I messed with it alongside Factorio 2, and I'm not totally sure what Factorio 2 added and what space exploration added, so it'll be fun to kind of get the pure space exploration experience. Just a couple notes on my mods. I have quite a few quality of life mods, so let me run you through that list real quick. Space exploration. Hey, go ahead and hit save, and then we can pretty easily see the mod list here in the save. I'll just go ahead and let you read through these. If you would like explanations on what any of them do or how they work, just let me know in the comments, and I'll be happy to explain. I'll probably explain each of them as I go through at least once so that you're not totally lost on what's happening, but I like quality of life mods. I think my favorite part about Factorio is the logistics challenges and dealing with all the different challenges that come with mod packs and the setting up of the production lines. I don't really like things like, oh, I have to walk really far or spend a lot of time walking or spend a lot of time mining. So I have quite a few quality of life mods to speed all that up. So meteors are something that happen in space exploration. If you go to the map, you can see where they strike. So we'll have to get meteor defense up and running at some point. There are a lot of these little wreckages to mine, so as we mine them, I'll just kind of talk you through what this is going to look like. I think we're going to start with the classic burner miners and all that, and then once we get automation going, I'm going to do my best to avoid the classic bus design. I will obviously have lines of iron and copper, but I'm going to try to not just put everything on a single bus that's, 4, 8, 12 lines wide or whatever. That design works pretty well, but I feel like it's a lot more interesting to do something different. And so I'm going to be trying to expand organically using potentially some sort of grid, but mostly just trying to not go in a straight line with everything. And I think that's most of the spaceship pieces. Still a few more over here. There's so many. So I'm fairly new to the Let's Play category, so if you have any suggestions for me, please just let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. and I'm looking forward to getting to play through space exploration with you guys. There's a lot of new and exciting things that I really don't know about. When I was reading through on the mod page, it sounds like there's a lot of almost even secrets that you discover as you play through. And like I said, I played a little bit with Crestorio 2, but I barely even got to the space stage where you build a space station. So I'm looking forward to getting to see what all of this is about. So one of the, I don't remember if it's AAI or space exploration, adds a few little patches near the home base, so I don't have to run all the way around to these big patches quite yet. Looks like I've got over 1 million of everything, which is nice. Almost 2 million iron. But these little patches are 80,000 or something, enough to get us started. So we've got a need for stone bricks to get more mining drills. So I'm actually going to start with this drill on stone. And I don't think I got any coal. Do any of these rocks have coal? There's some coal in these rocks. So we'll start with these. And then we can start getting some stone bricks going. I'm going to put my fuel on the hotbar. I don't think I'll need med packs on the hotbar quite yet. And we'll go ahead and just mine some more stone while we wait. Oh, I already have 90. I maybe don't need to do that. I can just craft a lot of furnaces. Put those there. So I can even just put some of my stone in here. So maybe I don't need a drill on the stone. We'll go ahead and put the drill on the iron, because we will need plates. So you can see it's automatically placing coal into these for me. I believe that is the Fill For Me mod, and that's pretty nice because it jump starts things like turrets and furnaces with what you need. It looks like we already have 10 science packs. So something gave us some science packs at the start. So we can go ahead and do, I mean, it makes sense to start with basic automation. So we'll go ahead and start with that. Might need a few more coal to get that done. And we still need our stone bricks to get going on some more burner mining drills. So now I can get 3. So we'll definitely get 2 going on coal because we will need lots of fuel. And then I think I'll have the other one going on stone. Like so. The early game is one of my favorite parts of Factorio, even though it looks the same for a lot of players. I just enjoy the kind of working your way towards more and more things, starting with so little. I think that's fun. We'll get a second iron going. Grab our coal. And then we'll put one more drill on this furnace, because I believe you need 2 to match 1 furnace. And you'll see me use this mod a lot. It's called Max Rate Calculator. You can drag a box over your machines and it'll show you the input rates that are required and the output rates that they give. I like to be on items per second. So you can see if I just highlight one drill, it outputs 0.25. If I highlight just the furnace, it'll say it uses 0.625 per second and gives you 0.313 bricks per second. And if you highlight everything, you can kind of see how it compares. Okay, you're outputting 0.5 stone. You need an input of 0.625 stone, so the net rate is negative 0.125. So that shows you that you're going to be short a little bit on stone for those buildings. It's a really easy way to balance out your lines and make sure that you don't have too much of one building or not enough of another. And then I have the even distribution mod, which lets me drag things like coal or ammo over buildings, or even ingredients, to evenly distribute them onto whatever's underneath. So the problem is we've got some copper mixed in with the iron, so we're going to have to kind of avoid some of those spots. But that'll be good for now. We'll get some ghosts placed. I still need a lot more bricks. There's enough for 3 more. And I think I'll actually get a second stone brick section going here. I'm going to need a lot more coal. So we'll expand our coal miners to 4. Okay. So we'll just keep doing the classic Factorio early game play. Run in circles like a chicken with your head cut off. Oh, I put all the coal in my other buildings. Of course I did. Okay. We should be able to get... I'm going to add 2 more to the coal circle here. Looks like I can go down this way. Oh, I need to turn on alt mode. I was wondering why I couldn't see everything. Perfect. And then we need another drill. I have the picker mod, so if I have drill selected and I mouse over a ghost, it automatically places it for me. And that's very handy. It's one of my favorite mods, actually. It just makes life so much simpler. I don't know if I could live without it, to be honest. So we're going to place our coal in here. Keep getting more iron. We're up to over 100, so we've got quite a bit of iron. I'll craft light armor. Why not? And then we need to place a lot more coal to keep getting our stone bricks. How much? So I'm mining 1 stone per second, so I get half a brick per second. I think that'll be enough. You never quite have enough in the start, but then once it runs for a few minutes, you have more than enough. So I think we can actually start on... Trying to think of what I want to do first. We'll need to get some science running. Is probably the biggest focus. So I'll get a few more coal drills going. Can make another little circle of 6 here, and I think that will be enough for quite a while. And there we go. So all together, that's getting me 3 coal per second. Coal gives you 4 megajoules worth of power, so that's 12 megawatts of power that little group can generate. Of course, minus their own fuel cost, which is whatever 12 times 0.15 megawatts is. But I think we'll have plenty, at least for now. So we'll actually get some burner assemblers going. Need more stone bricks. Might be time to get a 3rd stone brick set up. 2 more drills. And then we'll put coal in all of them. So I also have the Miniloaders mod, which starts with chutes, and these are essentially, I mean, many of you might know what Miniloaders are, but when you place it, it's almost like an inserter, but it's much quicker, and it goes on both sides of the belt. So you can have belts that go out of machines or into machines directly without really needing inserters, though the Miniloader is kind of like an inserter itself. And I don't use them all too often, but for things like copper wire, where you know you're going to need lots and lots and lots of inserters, and sometimes the inserters can't even keep up with the machine, that's when I'll use chutes or Miniloaders, because, again, I tend to prefer the logistics challenges, not the menial tasks of, like, how do I fit 6 inserters around a building so it can actually go fast enough. That's not my favorite thing. Okay, so we will get some science going. We will need some burner inserters. And I'll make gears, which will go into there. And then each of these will make science, which will go into my labs. And for a lab, I need copper plates, so I actually need to get copper going. And of course, I would need copper for the science anyway, so that shouldn't come as a surprise to me. I think we'll go ahead and get maybe 6 going for now. And I've neglected to actually get some stone mines, so we will set that up. We'll go in this corner just to try to use our space efficiently. That'll go into a chest. The nice thing about the even distribution is if you use right click, it'll only distribute half of your stuff, so you can have more to use for later. So it only gave away half my coal. And we'll put burner inserters on our hotbar, chutes, and I feel like I was going to put something else on my hotbar, but I don't remember what. I don't have belts yet, so I'll have to research that next. But we will go ahead and put our furnaces here, copy that, place it over here, and we need 1 more of each. I also think it's the picker mod that lets you hover over a ghost, and for me it's the tilde key, and then it crafts the thing you're mousing over. So it's an easy way to make sure, you know, if you've run out of something, you can easily just craft it without having to go into your inventory menu. I love me my shortcuts. Okay, so we can craft another burner lab, set this to gears, set these to science. And put the lab down, get some coal in it, get some iron in it, get some copper, and then we will be creating science. So copper goes in there. Or I mean, iron goes in there, copper goes in here. And coal goes in everything. Should keep it running for a little while. And I'm gonna duplicate this design. Can't decide if I like the way that looks better or this. I think I like the way this looks. Nice and tidy. We'll get enough materials to craft all of those. 2 labs. 3 inserters. Or I mean assemblers. 3, 4 inserters. And that should do it. And then we can start thinking about what we want to research. So basic logistics is usually a good idea to do first. You always need transport belts. I will need a submachine gun sooner or later. I don't think the biters are going to attack me that quickly though. Electricity is a big focus as the first thing, but we'll start with fuel processing because, again, I can't remember what's AAI Industries and what's space exploration. They're meant to be played together, so I guess it doesn't really matter, but the fuel processor can take coal and turn it into processed fuel, which then lets you both get more fuel value out of it, and also they stack larger. So processed fuel stacks to 100, and each one is worth 10 megajoules. So a belt of processed fuel can fuel pretty much all of your stone, copper, iron, all the things you're smelting. It can pretty much handle all of that with one line. You'll find out that I don't love to build mega base size bases, at least not at the beginning. Maybe if we get far enough, we'll work on expanding our production to be huge, but generally I build enough is kind of my motto, is like enough to get things going, and then when we need more, we get more. Kind of the classic find the bottleneck and fix it, and then there's another bottleneck, and then you fix that, and then you build the next thing, and then there's some bottleneck back at the beginning, and the whole process repeats. It's kind of the Factorio gameplay loop. I know some players like to kind of try to future-proof themselves and build enough at the start that they'll have enough at the end, but I like to progress through technology quickly. That's one of the most fun parts of the game for me, is discovering all the new things. So like in the space exploration, I want to go to other planets as quickly as possible. So I'm not going to build a mega base that can last me until 200 hours into the game. I'm going to build a base that can get me to space quickly. So that's my goal. Everyone has their own way of playing, and nobody's wrong or right, but that's just how I like to play. And so we've already got lots of research going. Seems to be swimming along nicely. We could even get a fuel processor or 2 to... Oops, I just took all the coal out of those. Try trying to think of what we want to establish first. Electricity, I guess, and more logistics. So we'll work on those. Don't need steel for a while. We'll get military, walls. I don't think I'll be using medpacks, but it bothers me to have cheap researches that are unresearched, so we'll just do all those cheap researches. And you'll see these down here. These are my quality of life researches. You can increase your reach, your movement speed, mining speed, inventory, and crafting speed. They are somewhat expensive. Obviously, once you get red science going, 150 is nothing, but they scale up. So like the fourth one in red science, you know, they're each 150 more than the last, and they're pretty marginal gains, but I like to be able to improve my character over time. Makes me feel a little bit more like, you know, my technology is increasing and things like that. So, and as I said, I don't like to deal with inventory issues later on. So being able to expand your inventory with more slots is very nice. And I think I'm going to get some burner inserters and belts and motors automated and gears so that I can get going with that. Another mod that I have, which you'll see me use here in a second, is Bob's adjustable inserters. And that lets me change the angle of inserters by 90 degrees, or later on, I can change it by even more than 90 degrees. So you can see here, there's also, normally with other inserters, when I click on it, a menu pops up, but I think because this one has coal in it, it's just the electrical inserters. But this will pop up normally when I click on an inserter, and it lets you change the pickup and drop off area, which when you have longer inserters, you can pick up from somewhere close, but then drop off farther away, 2 tiles or even 3 tiles. So you can get super long inserters, and then they can even go at angles other than 90. So you could pick up directly behind it, but then insert all the way to the top right corner. And so that is pretty nice. It in some ways makes the game a little easier, I won't lie, but I prefer, again, the challenge of, I don't know, I think there's lots of interesting things you can do even just with the Bob's inserters. And even though you might argue that it makes the game a little bit easier, I think it provides a challenge that is a lot of fun. So we're going to insert our gears into a chest, and then we will create some motors. And I need to get a little bit more of everything here. And then the motors will go into 2 places, which I think I might need a couple belts for that. So we will put the motors onto a belt here. And we'll see if 4 is enough, because I'm going to need to pick up from the belt. I think this might do it, because I want to make belts here, which require motors and plates, and I want to make burner inserters. Oh, those require sticks and motors. So I can make sticks in this one. If I can get an underground, which I just need more iron for that, then this should work. Because I can put my underground. So that'll be for sticks. So maybe I put this here. And this one will go straight. And then this one will grab from the underground of motors, which will be here. And that will get those going. And then I can also supply motors to a burner. Or sorry, this one's supposed to be sticks. I'm guessing everything has run out of fuel by now, so I'm going to need to go refuel everything. But then I can have sticks go directly in there. Motors I will have go into a chest first, so that I can build up some over time. Get those placed so I can rotate them. We'll go with up to 4 stacks of motors, 2 stacks of gears, and then this will be burner inserters. And this is worth setting up, because we'll need burner inserters for electric inserters anyway. So, and we'll place our, never enough. We'll place our belts into this chest, and you will discover that the 90-degree inserters are much faster. So again, you can kind of argue that makes the game a little easier, but I'm okay with that. That doesn't bother me too much. I like the setups that you can make with it. Okay, we'll fill these with half of my coal. Already grabbed that. We'll come up here, make sure these are all fueled. Take a couple stacks of stone. Take all the stone bricks I have. We'll want to cover the whole base with that eventually, anyway. And then we'll fuel up all of our iron. And I will actually get more iron going, because you can never have too much iron. So we need 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'll even expand the coal with a few more, just to make sure we have enough fuel. I think the inserters are, well, these only have 6 each, so I should probably put some more in those. That'll do it. And then we will get these all placed. And we'll put some more coal in those. Make sure they've got enough. 7's not a lot, but it'll go for a bit, because we'll want to get a lot of iron to put in this chest. We'll put all of it minus half a stack for now. And then see if everything works properly. So it looks like we are correctly making burner inserters and transport belts. Perfect. So that will save me a lot of handcrafting time in the long run. Place another couple of these. 3 more drills, 3 more furnaces. So you notice the ratio is not quite perfect. The drill only outputs 0.25 iron ore per second, but we need 0.313. But it's not really worth going 2 to 1, because then you have a lot more drill than you need. So I think the 1 to 1 is fine. And we will get our coal more utilized here. Get longer chains. 1 more. Perfect. And then we'll start processing that soon, so we can have even more fuel. Just took coal out of the burner inserters again. Perfect. So that should be a lot of iron. I wonder how much we're producing. Looks like we're at about 3 a second. 190 a minute. That should do it. We'll put a little bit more in here. We'll make sure our science is fed. Lots of copper plates. Perfect. So our electricity research can finish. And then we will probably want copper cable, though I'm not going to need circuits for a little while, so I'm not going to worry about that. We just need a lot more iron. Lots and lots of iron. But we'll get electricity going before we know it, and then we can set up a full iron smelting line. I think that'll probably be more than enough copper for a while. These 2 drills have run out, so we'll set up another one. I like to try to set it up from the outside in, when possible. With these other ones, they're all mixed together, so it's kind of difficult to do that. But here, it seems to work just fine. So we've got plenty of bricks. That one little stone miner seems to be doing a good enough job. Oh, now we have electric inserters. Perfect. And then we can do wood poles or electric poles. I did discover that wood is not automatable in AAI Industries and space exploration unless you get a different mod altogether that would let you automate wood. So making the iron poles is probably the easiest, because then we don't have to worry about dealing with the non-renewable wood source. Is that one getting iron? No, it's just ever so close, but it's not. Okay, so give these guys all some more coal. I just found out recently that you can press Z to drop individual pieces of coal or ingredients into buildings. I never even knew that. I thought you had to drop the whole stack or half the stack. So, you really do learn something new every day playing Factorio. We'll go ahead and take the spoils of war here. Make a few more undergrounds and splitters. And I think it's ready to, or we're ready to start setting up some electricity. I just want to make sure that all has enough iron and coal before we head off and do a whole new project. So we'll put coal and everything here. Try to dodge the chests as we do even distribution though, because we don't want to put our coal in a chest. Get to all the inserters, all the burner assemblers. I think I got it all. Perfect. And then we'll put some more iron in there. And it's not incredibly quick, but it works. We'll actually just get to one stack of the inserters, because I do want motors and gears to build up eventually as well. I think the slowdown here is this chest into the gears. That guy is so slow. But I don't have a way to make it faster yet, because, well, we can get long inserters and near inserters. Near inserters would let us place on the near side of a belt rather than just the far side. And our waters here, our coal's up here, so we'll have to get the coal routed eventually. For now we can just use this small coal patch. Oh, wait, electricity just gives us a burner turbine generator, not the regular kind. When do I get the regular kind? Steam. Steam power. I need 150 more science packs. You know, I think that's fine. I'm willing to wait for that. We need to work on crafting a lot of belts anyway to get the coal over there. We'll need to process the fuel. I know I have belts automated, but handcrafting is, in the beginning, faster than the assemblers. I think the burner assemblers are only 0.5 crafting speed, so they're pretty slow. So we'll just make sure these have enough. And I'm going to cancel the near inserters because I won't need that for a little while anyway. Alright, we've got enough to start thinking about where our power will go. I think I will route my power, let's see, I've got stone, copper, iron's down here. So I think I'll bring the 3 types of ore to about here, and then we'll have our smelting lines in this southwest area. And that way the coal's not too hard. Oh, we have biters right there. Those are going to start attacking pretty soon, actually. I may need to worry about that. But so I think having power on the... Oh, we'll route the stone just past it. So I think having power in this area is actually pretty good, because that'll be out of the way, but still kind of within the realm of our base, so we won't have to worry about defending too large of an area. I'd rather be on the west side of this little lake than the east side, if I had to pick. We'll clear out a little space, and I think I'll have the steam turbines going off to the right as the fuel goes up from here. So that'll be where the fuel is. And then we'll need some fuel processors. So they consume 9 megawatts, and they're kind of like a burner building. So they actually use the fuel rather than craft with it as an ingredient. And then they create this processed fuel. And the nice thing about using burner inserters here is even though they're slow, they'll at least fuel themselves. So if I just bring the coal to here, then that'll work. And we'll go ahead and do 1 more. And I think we'll probably need 2, at least, maybe 3, inserting. And then a new feature of 1.1 is even if I move the mouse up and down, it stays on this straight line. So that's very handy for, you know, all of us have had the pain of trying to drag a straight line and you miss by 1 and then you got to go redo it. But we are going to go ahead and craft my submachine gun. And we will get a burner assembler going with firearm magazines, because I don't really want to die just yet, or ever, really, so we'll need to keep our defenses up. And we will insert into and out of it. Need some more chests. And we'll get quite a bit of iron used there. And we'll switch our weapon over. I'll destroy the pistol at some point. It's basically never used again after. It does do more damage per ammo, but I think the shooting speed and range is just not worth it. And then we will want to get turrets, actually. And I may do turrets right before steam power, so that I can set up a couple turrets while steam power is researching. I'm gonna need some more iron. Make some more gears. Grab the rest of my transport belts. Seems like things are running pretty well so far. We have over 1,000 coal, so that should last me a while. Make sure these are all fully fueled. Grab more bricks. We'll hold 3 stacks of stone. We really only need it for stone furnaces, but we'll need a lot of those eventually. Might as well craft them. I think you need, let's see, how fast is each one? 0.313. So I think 8. Let's see if we can measure 8. That's 8, goes 2.5. So then 16 is 5, which means 48 furnaces is 15 per second, which is a single belt. So we'll need 48 just for the line of iron. And now let's craft. We'll craft 4 turrets. We will definitely need them. We'll take up to 1 full stack of those. We'll need the motors for everything else, so we won't take those. Fill that up with more iron. Take the ammunition. Make sure these are all full. And we are losing buildings already. Where's my turret? There they are. Oh my. That is a lot more biters than I anticipated. Well, that was intense. Survived with 8 health on that turret. Wow. Okay, so the biters are a little bit more threatening, I think. Or maybe it's just the size of the base that I had set. But we will... Okay. We will need to be a little bit more cognizant of the biters. So they attacked up here first and literally destroyed everything. That's depressing. At least I had collected all of that. So we'll need... I had 4. We need some iron. Not sure why this is not running. Oh, there's coal over there. That's interesting. So it's actually mining coal. It's a little frustrating. Because now it's going to be harder to grab, but it'll at least do something. Okay. We need a lot more firearm magazines. And we need a few more drills to fix what broke. We'll need some repair packs. I'm going to place another turret with that one. That was intense. Take some more ammo out of our personal supply. And put our repair packs down here. Make sure our turrets are at full health. That's the most important part. That one's run out of iron. And we need this one, these 3. Coal. Repair everything. Okay. Fill everything up with coal, and the copper's back to normal. We'll craft 1 more turret. And maybe 2 more turrets. Give this another stack of iron. That has enough coal to run for a while. That was an unexpected attack. I did not think they would attack that soon. Okay, so we place up into that. Oh dear. Okay, this has become a much more serious threat. I think it's because of how close the base is. So we're going to have to deal with that base very soon. I think 2 turrets for now can handle it, but I'm trying to remember how this was all set up. That's good enough. Oh, I need more of these. Perfect. Okay. Make sure everything's filled up. Don't know why I tried to place coal into the turret, but prepare all of this, and I think our first priority is actually to take out that base. I don't know if we can handle attacks like that constantly. There might actually be 2 bases. I didn't pay super close attention to the... We need another one of these. Crafting. I didn't pay super close attention to the map preview, so I'm not entirely sure where the biter bases are. Okay. We are also going to handcraft some firearm magazines, just to... We get 50 more. We're going to need a lot, and we're going to need some more turrets. We'll actually craft those first. And then some more magazines. This is definitely more intense than I anticipated. We'll place a 3rd turret near these. Those each have 20, so it'll last us a little bit. Okay, so I think to defeat this base up here, I want to have probably 5 turrets and quite a bit of ammo, maybe a couple hundred. Let's see if that's enough. We'll place 2 more stacks in there. Get 3 more turrets. Use the rest of our copper for ammo. And then we can go on a killing spree. Delayed our electricity a little bit, but that's okay. We will get there eventually. Try to refuel all of this. I'm thankful all of our hard work automating these things didn't get destroyed. That would have been sad. Still have plenty of inserters. We'll take some motors though. It's a lot of pollution going out of all these burners is the problem. So these actually need 2 per second, so I really should do this and have each one have its own chest. Like this, so they can take the iron more quickly and then distribute the iron like that. I think that'll go a little faster. Yeah, that keeps up with it. Okay, so we've got our turrets. We have, if I leave about 20 for myself, we have 150 ammo. I think that's enough. We're gonna go ahead and save it, just in case anything drastic happens. Grab our coal. We probably have more than enough coal. I'm gonna put it in chest. Of course, things are getting destroyed again. Oh dear. Now they're attacking from that direction. This is where Bill for me is quite nice, is it puts ammunition in the turrets right when you place them. So again, maybe it makes the game a little bit easier, but I'm not too bothered by it. So we'll craft 2 more turrets to replace those, and then we'll go hunt the ones to the top left first. But it seems like they're attacking from all directions here, so I'm maybe a bit worried about what I've done with the biters. We need to turn down the settings or use console commands or something. I don't really want to have to be fighting biters the whole game. But we'll at least try this. And defeat this base. I love the Alien Biomes mod. I did turn... Oh my goodness. Hopefully this is enough. Wow. This is... disturbing. Wow. Okay. That heartbeat sound is echoing my own actual heartbeat. That was intense. Little did I know that this early game was gonna become completely about biters. 5 turrets was not enough. So we will continue fueling all these things. We might need a little bit more iron. I'm gonna craft a few more of these drills to make sure we can get all the iron possible. That one's gonna grab coal, unfortunately. Okay. We really need to get rid of that base. And it looks like there's no healing on your own, so we may need to actually craft some med packs. We need fish. That's a little bit interesting. Don't know where we're gonna get fish. Obviously, I do know where we're gonna get fish. More like I meant I don't really want to walk over and mine them by hand. So we're gonna need turrets yet again. I think we might be at the point where we also have burner assembler crafting gears to put in our turrets, because that'll save a lot of the crafting time. We need to have 2. Now this east side's getting attacked again. Alright, I think what I'm going to do is pause the video here and deal with some of the biters, and then once I've dealt with some of that, then I'll come back. Alright, welcome back. So I actually ended up just setting the biters to peaceful. Turns out this was far beyond what I had intended to be dealing with this early on in the playthrough. That base up there in the top left, well, I went over there and there are, I think, 6 or 7 nests, and there were about 8 worms, which, you know, are the ranged attackers. And so even with 5 turrets and plenty of ammo, I couldn't handle the base. So I think we're gonna leave the biters on peaceful, at least for this very early game, until we can get our feet under us. And once we can get things going, then we can worry more about defeating the biters. And I do intend to take them off of peaceful at some point, but at least for now in the early game, I think we're gonna leave them on peaceful, so I don't have to spend, you know, half of my playthrough just worrying about, am I gonna be dead in the next 2 minutes? So I definitely have enough copper for a while. I really wish health at least slowly regenerated. It's kind of bothersome that I have to go find some fish just to... Oh, we get 5 per Fish. That's nice. This won't be too bad then. I was worried I was going to have to do this 30 times. Okay, so you can see they did some serious damage over here as well. So for now, we'll remove this. I do like the idea of the biter threat. In space exploration, I believe even if you turn biters off and on peaceful on the homeworld, they will still show up on other planets. And so you really can't escape them altogether. And I kind of like that. But at least for the first few minutes here, it'd be nice to have some peace. Okay, so we'll get that fuel line going again. And we can work on some boilers. We'll start with 6, and then we will need lots of steam engines. We'll need 12 of them. That's only 3. So I have 3, 6, 5 more, and 1 more. So that should do it. It'll take a while to craft. We'll remove this for a second. We'll get a much nicer crafting line going later, but for now we've got plenty of things. Lots of belts, so we will need to run some coal over. We'll start with the coal from this patch, and then eventually we'll get the coal from the patch up here to the left. So, we'll run this over. And then down. And we'll have to switch some of these to mining onto belts. So what we'll do is a line like this. And then we can use inserters to put coal back into them so they stay fueled. And we'll actually do the same on the other side. Once we get electrical drills going, obviously that will be far superior. But for now, this will be plenty. Now for this one, we'll have to grab from the side. So that way. Because otherwise, I guess it would actually get coal from that one, but I think it'll be faster doing it that way. So now I've got coal being supplied. We will need a pump to get water. It looks like our crafting is almost there. And we will also need some pipes. So you'll see that I have the flow control mod. It adds T-pipes, straight pipes, and elbow pipes that won't connect in the other directions. So that way you can make connections that you wouldn't normally be able to make. I don't use those very often. The main reason I like the flow control mod is for the overflow and top-up valves, which you'll see how those work when I use them later, but it allows you to have a lot more control. It's kind of like circuits, where you can have a pipe that only outputs if its input is more than 80% full, and the top-up allows you to only... What is it? It only will put things into the space that it's pointed into if it's less than 80% full. So it will top it up, or the overflow will allow flow if it's too full on the input side. So between the two of them, it allows for a lot of control on how you use different liquids. I find it's very useful for mod packs. You don't need it too much in vanilla. There's only a couple places where you might use it in vanilla, but in modded Factorio, I find it to be a lifesaver. Okay, we'll get these all placed. I need my power poles, which I put on 4. And then we will need some inserters. Just have this belt go down instead of up, and then over. And then we can extend that up as far as we need. And we need our pipes. think shift 3 and shift 4 for my pipes. And the pump. Of course it can't work perfectly this way, but this is fine. There we go. And it looks like we actually need power here too. So we will use a burner turbine generator that doesn't need water and a splitter to make sure we run fuel down to here first, output priority right. And then we will fuel this burner generator, which it looks like we can put it actually right here. And then we know we'll get water first. That way we can never really run out of water. Because water, I guess, needs power with probably AAI Industries. And now we've got steam power up to 10.8 megawatts. Perfect. So we'll run some pulls back to the main base. And now we have electricity, which should allow us to start doing lots of good things. I think the first main thing I'll do is get electric drills going into smelting lines. But I think this is probably a good place, as good of a place as any, to call it quits for our first episode. In the next episode, we'll be working on getting the copper ore and iron ore smelted, and I may potentially just get enough turrets and medpacks and ammo to deal with a couple biter bases near us so that I can turn biters back on, because I would like to kind of... It is enjoyable, I think, to deal with some biter attacks from time to time, but not when they're so devastating that they destroy you. So we'll see if I can maybe find a happy medium there by taking out a few of the nearby bases. But I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, and please let me know what you think in the comments.